Finally, let me introduce you to the Gravitas Monster. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host Aaron from Pen Venture with a month delay since our last video, but for all of the good reasons. We've been working hard to finally get this creation right here, the Gravitas Monster, equipped with the innovating Kraken filling mechanism to you all. Not only that, I took like a few weeks off together with my family in order to charge those batteries for the battle. It is time to introduce you to the latest creation from Gravitas, the Monster. One of the most interesting things that lately I've seen from our industry, and it's one of those pans which, as a process altogether, I was able to be there from the first prototype all the way up to production, all the way up to facing challenges, designing, packing, putting everything together in order to have this major launch event. So I think I can share with you all a perspective which comes from something that no other person in our industry on YouTube can relate to you all, because I was there together with Ben Walsh in the trenches for you all in order to receive this fountain pen and to materialize it from this first edition prototype all the way up to today's pen right here, which is shipped, received, and in between these 2 points there were a lot of challenges. In this video I want to share some of them with you all. Let's start with a little bit of a background in order to set the tone for what I'm going to show you. For years, 2 or 3, Ben Walsh has been designing, creating, producing prototypes and testing this innovating filling system, which he later called the Kraken Filler because it crackles. This filling system has a lot of things in common with actually medical devices, heart valves. Ben Walsh designed a filling system based on the usual vacuum filling principle. It uses something else to actually contain the vacuum, produce the vacuum. I believe this is one of the most efficient filling systems that is producing vacuum that sucks up ink. Every vacuum fountain pen does the same, and Ben has a vacuum filler fountain pen, the Ultimate Vac, which actually has this rubber head or gasket or piston head, call it whatever you like, that slides inside the barrel, forms vacuum behind this seal right here. Once it reaches the bottom part like this, it pops the vacuum and draws ink. That is the basic simple principle of the vacuum filling fountain pen. We discovered along the way a lot of things where Gravitas could innovate, create, develop, and this way we have been creating the Kraken filling system. I don't know how long this video will be, but stick with me because you will see something that has not been seen in our industry till now. Gravitas had to reinvent itself as a company, as a process, as a manufacturer in order to land this creation in stock, and not only that, in your hands. Don't forget to subscribe to the Pen Venture YouTube channel if you're not subscribed. If you're gonna find value in this video, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. This will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And let's proceed showcasing the customer experience, how you get your monster, because we've worked in order to land you something special. And by that I mean a custom design case like this one. This is how you would get your Gravitas Monster. It comes inside this very friendly carry case. The pen will rest like this inside, safe in order to travel your way. We opted to have the zipper case, which is custom made for Gravitas. It has 2 zippers. It has this, and you can put this like so, or with a carabiner, you can tie that to your bag, and this way your fountain pen, the monster, will travel not only your way safe, you can travel safe with it towards your destination. This is the customer experience. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know your feedback, because for us it's very important. It has this plush inside. Your fountain pen will be safe right here. Even if it's gonna rattle, it's not gonna do any harm towards the fountain pen. Gravitas fountain pens are meant to be carried. So the whole idea behind a case, travel is the keyword. We want you to travel with your Gravitas fountain pens and to use them. Travel case does the job wonderful. Let's continue further. Well, when it comes to the Gravitas Monster, you're going to be seeing a first initial batch of 1,000 fountain pens. And those fountain pens come in 3 individual colors. We have silver, this one right here, which is a gorgeous writing instrument, clean, looking good. The silver is mesmerizing, it's anodized, bead blasted. So the texture of this writing instrument, it's something that we try to take from Apple products, like this sort of a texture or anodized aluminum that you will have on a MacBook as a surface, as a tactile feel. So this is bead blasted, not sand blasted. A lot of pen companies use sand blasting in order to create the texture that's a little bit more rough. We went and got it done with beads, like round beads, and that creates a very delightful and tingly tactile sensation on the aluminum. So we have silver, then we have one of the most popular colors, teal, and this is gorgeous. It's not my favorite. You will see which one is, but by the looks of the sales, this is the most popular color, the teal. And then we have the black one, the one that I like the most. And it's my personal pen right here, inked up with a black ink. So this is a family snapshot of all of them together. We have silver, we have black, and we have teal. This is not a limited edition fountain pen. This initial 1,000 pieces batch, we wanted to make them a little bit more special, and we numbered them from number 1 to 333. The people that want to have a piece of this first initial batch will have a special pen with a number. As we continue further with Gravitas together with Pen Venture, and by now you know the relationship and the collaboration in between us and Ben Walsh, we will see which of the colors are going to be continuing on, and those will not come with a number engraved on the fountain pen. You will see in just a few moments where we actually hid the number of this special first batch fountain pens, and we will do more colors. We will pick different materials. What follows next, it's going to be based on this platform, to say so, but we already identified a few ways to actually make this pen even better than this. And with your help and with your feedback, we're going to be improving this design. Now it is time to dive into the details. Let me get you closer to the design. Let me show you the interesting filling system and everything that you will want to possibly know about this pen. As a shape, overall, the Monster is a very simple fountain pen. Straightforward, flat at ends, bulbous cap. It is usually what you would expect from Gravitas. Bauhaus, industrial look, minimalistic. This is something that Ben has been infusing in his lineup. It's one of those attributes that I didn't want it to hinder at all. So you will see a look next to one of his previous creations, and right here is the piston carbon. Usual Gravitas minimalistic look and feel. As shape goes, it is a little bit different, but keep in mind the Monster is using a different filling system and a different material in the way it's made. Also, here is a look next to a Ultimate Vac, and it's not that large in regards of length, but in regards of girth is. Don't be fooled by the name Monster. I know it sounds big, impressive, but this fountain pen, it is not that giant. You should not be scared in trying out if you want to get a, let's just say, medium to lightweight, oversized fountain pen with a cheeky and innovating filling system. On top of the finial, we have the Gravitas logo. Then we have the cap starts to pick up in girth, and right here at the thickest point, it's going to measure 18 millimeters in diameter. It's a thick fountain pen. Then the cap starts to go down in diameter in order to meet with the barrel, and it does that not completely flushed, but there is no noticeable step down towards it. Let's uncap the pen, and we have shy of a complete turn. So this is good even for quick notes. Also inside the cap, I don't know if the camera picks this up, but inside there we have a Delrin sleeve, which is made in order to give that very, very rewarding tactile sensation. When you uncap the pen, it's not metal on metal threads. The inner sleeve works wonderful even when you post the fountain pen. It will allow you to do that soft without having metal on metal contact. Let's switch to the silver version because I want to showcase all of them together with you so you can better relate to which is your favorite color out of this three. And let's check out the nib because this is not your typical nib. This is the Gravitas size 8 steel nib, which comes paired with an ebonite feeder. This nib is available in extra fine, fine, medium, broad. On the teal version and on the silver version, the nib is going to be silver color, and on the black version comes PVD coated in black, which I believe makes the black a little bit more special. This is something which is just personal taste of mine, but let me know if this is also on your side just as well. On this nib, we have right here laser engraved the Gravitas logo. Under it, we have medium, the nib size. It is very, very straightforward and easy to remove one of this nib units. And this is why we and Gravitas have available individual nib units for you if you want to try different sizes on the same fountain pen. This is how you would remove such a nib. You put your finger like this under it, you put the thumb on top and then turn slowly while gripping the nib unit, and voila, you have the Gravitas nib unit outside of the fountain pen. Right here we have a clear O-ring, and right here on top a gasket. Keep in mind those two need to be there in order to ensure that no ink from the barrel comes on top and drips in the section. And this O-ring right here will not let any ink when you dip the fountain pen get through it and arrive into the inner section. This O-ring right here and this gasket should always be there. And when we retail one of these nib units, it will come with these two gaskets. So the big question, is this fountain pen fitting other nib units like a Bach 380? I think yes. We have not had a definitive test on that because I don't have at my disposal such a nib unit, but I think it will fit. There are third-party solutions like housings together with nibs that you can use in order to put a different nib inside a Moser fountain pen, and even so, I tried and succeeded in installing a Sailor King of Pen 21 karat gold nib in this housing and on this ebonite feeder. I do have to admit that it is not an easy task and it requires a lot of skill. It will void the warranty of the nib and quite possibly the pen. So proceed at your own expense when it comes to this. But if you have a plug and play option like a different nib unit, Bach 380, just go slow and check out if it's going to fit. Having a nib which can be so easily taken out of the fountain pen can help you out to clean that nib unit and clean that fountain pen very, very easy. Let's put the pen back together, and this is how easy it is to do so. A lot of manufacturers are not too happy with users like you removing their nibs. This is why we are going to put a disclaimer. Be very careful, proceed very, very slow. Just make sure that you don't harm the nib or the fountain pen in the process. If you need extensive help, just email us, put questions, use videos like this for reference, and proceed very carefully and very slowly. This is the section and ergonomics of this fountain pen, and I'm gonna do another switch and I'm gonna show you on the black fountain pen because it's much more visible. So this section has the usual Gravitas circular grooves that enhance the grip. Due to the anodizing process and the nature of the aluminum, they are not that noticeable like on stainless steel sections. As a section, this is chunky, but not overly. Diameter right here, it's going to be 12 millimeters at the thinnest point. The thinner diameter right here, it's closer to the nib, and the section is quite long, to be honest, and it will allow you the comfort of gripping the fountain pen slightly above that minimal diameter if you feel that you need to do so, or if you grip your fountain pens like that. Right here we have the threads. Those are the new ACME threads, blunt tip profile. Very, very soft to the touch. They are not sharp at all. You can grip the fountain pen even by those threads. And those threads help in sealing the section. You can unscrew it together with the nib itself. So again, very, very thought over. You can put this into an ultrasonic cleaner. You can flush it with water. Right here we have an O-ring. Make sure you don't lose that one. Then we have this part right here, which is the contact point of the optical grade clear acrylic. This material and its finish is done in one pass. So we had to actually develop a technique, a cutting knife, the process all together in order to have this barrel clear in one go. So that is Ben and his innovating use of materials, techniques, tools in the Gravitas facility. I believe it makes up this writing instrument to be one which is delightful and shows the color of the ink inside. In the future, we're going to see something interesting in regards of the barrel just as well. But for now, this is all I have. Let's speed up everything because I want to get to the filling system. That is the most interesting thing that I want to share with you all. So the barrel right here, the thickest point, it's 16 millimeters. Let's have a recap. Thickest diameter on the cap, 18 millimeters. Thickest diameter on the section, 12 millimeters. Thickest diameter on the barrel right here, 16 millimeters. Let's continue. We have this part right here, aluminum, anodized, black, and then we have this ring right here, which is the mounting plate of the filling system, and on it you will need a loop, but you will see a very interesting Easter egg. It's a quote from Ben. Beware, for I'm fearless and therefore powerful. I'm gonna be asking you to comment down below, where does this come from? I know where it comes from, but I want to see if you will find out where it comes from. And opposite to that, we have the number of the fountain pen engraved. Just like I told you, it's 333 for the initial 1000 pieces batch. The heart of the master contains the Kraken filling system. And now it is time to talk about the filling system. This is never been done in our industry. It is a concept, the vacuum filling system, which is vintage to say at least. And on that concept, Ben put together a very interesting approach in how this pen generates vacuum, how it's going to burst the vacuum, how much ink it's going to suck up. In order to demonstrate all of that, this fountain pen, its ink capacity will be 7 milliliters of ink. Just as a side-by-side comparison, the Namiki Ampere holds 6 milliliters of ink. Well, this pen right here fits 7 milliliters of ink. If you have a system so efficient as this one, and if you want to prove that you can get a lot of ink inside this pen very quickly and very efficient, what better way to set this up as a large capacity filler of 7 milliliters, the master. When you unscrew and pull the piston knob back, you will see the inside right here. What you actually get, it is a valve which is inspired by medical valves in the heart, what surgeons use inside the heart. And I know this because my father has 2 of them. So this valve, it's gonna close and open, and it will allow ink to go through the head itself. Around the valve, you will see a black quadring. Although quadrings exist and they're not that uncommon in our industry, I believe they're not that used. In regards of this filling system, it generates so much vacuum that a normal O-ring would not be able to generate because it is round, and when you put it inside a barrel, the contact point is just one, and when you push and start to generate vacuum, that seal will be not effective. Why? Because a round O-ring just start to twist. When you have a quad ring, it has two contact points. So basically it's just like a square, but it touches the barrel in 2 points. It's double seal. Then in the middle, you'll have a small film of lubricant, which each time you glide a piston, it will grease the barrel and it will make sure that the seal is proper and you can generate so much more vacuum than with a round O-ring. This is why Ben opted to have a quad ring. And then you would have the valve. Once you pop the vacuum at the bottom, a lot of ink rushes through, and I'm not completely sure it will be getting inside the barrel in an effective way if that head would not have the valve and the two holes that will allow ink to flow through the head itself. The innovating Kraken filling mechanism. Don't try to untwist this or remove anything as parts because it's laser welded together. This is the first time that we used in the Gravitas lineup such a technique. Everything is laser welded in order to make sure that that pressure will not make any small part fail and have the filling system malfunction. Everything is contained, everything is put together to the best of the Gravitas abilities, technology, and everything that is a quest for innovation and to bring new technology, new materials, and to put them in the Gravitas lineup. Just as a side note, in order to create such small parts, so precise machining and everything that goes into the Monster and the Kraken Filler. These small parts are done with the same technology which is used in order to create watch parts. Micro wire EDM. This translates into a filling system which operates at large pressures and vacuums. This is why it took like 2 years to get from this all the way up to the final form, which is this one right here. We had to develop techniques. We had to make sure that everything that we put in your hands, it's safe, it works properly. It is the final ultimate form of function and design that Gravitas can achieve. And in order to do that, we had to buy equipment into the manufacturing facility. We had to develop new techniques. Ben had to fly in the facility, get to install the machines and put them together in order to achieve such finishes and such a intricate level of assembly, like welding parts together and making sure that the vacuum is contained in the chamber of the system. What we have today, it's something that I'm super proud of. So Ben, good bonus points on that. Let's move further and let me tell you that the pan altogether has a double reservoir. You can drain it like this by untwisting, and let's just hope I'm not gonna make too much mess on my desk by doing so. But if you remove the section and you have ink right here and the valve is completely closed, you should not have ink coming down. So it is a double reservoir. Keep in mind, because when you write with this fountain pen, you would need to open up just a little bit the piston knob. You go a little bit up and down and you will have ink going into the section altogether, and it's much more easy to demonstrate this on the system, and this is how you would do it. Ink will go through this and into the section altogether. So keep in mind this, because we had customers which reported as, oh, I start writing with the Monster and it's awesome for a page and then it goes dry. Why? Well, if it's gonna write great from the beginning, something is going on. So that ink inside the section, it's going to go through the nib and to the page, and then it will not have any ink coming if you don't open up and let some ink go into the section. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of letting the piston knob loose when I write to have a continuous ink flow. That can generate burps and blobs of ink, improper ink flow. I just take as much ink as I need inside the section. I close the valve and that's it. I enjoy my writing experience, and when I feel that the pen goes a little bit more dry, I open up and compensate and bring more ink. Now let's have some measurements, and after that let's enjoy the writing sample all together with some of the nib sizes, and in the end, we're going to conclude everything in some personal opinions. Capped, the Gravitas Monster measures 147 millimeters in between ends. Posted like this, it's going to measure 182 millimeters. Uncapped in writing position, it's going to measure 143 millimeters, and the total weight of the fountain pen capped is 43 grams and uncapped is 28 grams. Now, pricing. Well, for everything that you see, custom case, materials like aluminum, titanium, optical grade, acrylic, size 8, steel nib, ebonite feeder, ingenious, never been done filling system. And when you put everything in a complete package, this pen sells for only 285 euros, no VAT. If you ask me, but keep in mind, this is just personal reflection of myself. And this personal reflection of myself is done after having experienced and seen hundreds and hundreds of other writing instruments and what they offer as a value and what you get as a package. Well, this pen is very, very well priced. This is just my personal view and opinion. You may have a different budget. You may be thinking differently. In regards of the pricing, for all of our USA customers, supporters, friends, there is a very fluid and dynamic situation with the tariffs and taxes. From what we know right now, today in August, first week of August, we have been informed that quite possibly from the beginning of September, the de minimis exemption from import taxes on parcels or deliveries of $800 and under that will no longer be valid from any country altogether towards USA when customers import products. I don't know if it's going to be like that from September the 1st. Everything is very dynamic, very fluid, without trying to create FOMO. Keep this in mind. If you plan to have one of these writing instruments or any writing instruments from Pen Venture or any other retailer, be sure to not be caught in the middle closer to the beginning of September until we see something signed on the dotted line. Now for the fun part. You deserve this because you stayed so much time on this video. How you fill up your Kraken Filler Monster fountain pen. Well, untwist the piston, pull like this, have a look at that vacuum. Oh my God. This is so rewarding and I cannot wait to show you how one complete plunge will result in 4 milliliters of ink. And if you do the superfill, nib up, pull the piston, remove the air, go in and have a double fill, that will result you in 7 milliliters of ink, 1 milliliter more than a Namiki Emperor. So this is the Kraken. This is how it crackles. Oh, it's so rewarding. And now pull like this. Then you would submerge the section all the way up until here inside the ink. And you keep it after you hear the crackle. Because 4 milliliters of ink take a few seconds to be drawn through the nib and the feeder into the pen body. But I'm gonna use a slow-mo video and some reference in order to showcase how it's that happening. But well, let me show you like this. Okay, and okay. Oh my God, it shoots up. So this is how much ink you would get from a full one plunge. 4 milliliters of ink. Let me wipe this off and let me show you a double fill. You would pull like this. You just make sure that the nib doesn't squirt ink all over, and then you go until you see some ink showing up like so. Then you would go a second time and then you commit to another pull. So this is a full 7 milliliters minus the air bubble right here. Now let's put some ink inside that chamber. Gravitas Monster. And this is the 8. It's a medium. Wow. Soft, juicy, wet, smooth, and enjoy to write with. Since we're here, let me show you an extra fine. So this is Gravitas Monster, and this is a 8 extra fine, and I just love this extra fine point, and this is what I got on my personal pen altogether. Let's fill it up with ink. A couple of these fills will result in a very quick time in going through an entire bottle of ink like this diamine ink. So we have Gravitas. Oh my god. Gravitas Monster. Oh my god, this is the first time that I'm trying the broad. Oh my god, so good. Broad, wet, soft, juicy. Love this. Love this. Hint of feedback. Love it. So this is the Gravitas Monster. Let me put everything aside and let's talk about my personal opinions and reflections regarding this pen. When it comes to the Gravitas Monster, I believe I can be very personal. Why? Because I was the person who sat next to Ben Walsh when he showed me this prototype when he traveled 2+ years ago in Romania to meet with me. Ever since we know each other, we've worked together in order to produce this design, this filling system, a pen with this filling system. We have it. Today it's launched. From those 1,000 pieces, over 400 or so are in your hands. So we are super proud of this achievement, and I know for a fact how much effort and how much it went into creating this pen. We had to manufacture these writing instruments in a very successful form, because we had like 4 or 5 prototypes, which we produced one, scrapped, go to the next one with the lesson learned, then go to the next one, and so on. For me, I can relate at a personal level that it took 2 years to get this right and to have the result of this in person today. This is a achievement beyond being a writing instrument. I think that the pricing of it is splendid, and I'm super happy that we were able to have such a pricing on this pen. And this is not by chance. It is by the simple fact that we had to create many thousands of them. This is just the first 1,000. What comes next is, you will see. It's interesting to say at least. The finishes on this pen I love the most. The black one is my personal favorite. I love the filling system. The Kraken filling system is the ultimate form of a vacuum filling system with the technology of today and with the innovations and lessons learned from pens like the Ultimate Vac. So Ben put together a package which is very interesting and well priced. So what's gonna be next? Next, we're gonna see a lot of monster fountain pens coming up in the next years in different colors, in different materials, in different combinations. Then the Kraken filling, it's making its debut. We made it big because we can make it very small. And I'm gonna stop here. Then we look forward at exploring new colors in the same aluminum series. Then one of the things that I want to make sure that's going to be changed in the next period with the next batches would be the edges of the pan. If you look closely, everything is flat and the edge is quite abrupt, so there is no chamfer. I just want to see a chamfer because for me, such a hard visual flat surface, it is something which I want to see perfected. Also, I'm curious enough to see, entertain, propose in which other pan models of the Gravitas series we're gonna have the Kraken on. Let's see. Exciting times for Ben Walsh. Super proud of him. If you want to get one of these monster fountain pens, down below I'm going to leave you a link. It's available on the Penventure website. It's available from Gravitas. It's available in the whole Gravitas network. Also, down below, you'll find the links for our social media accounts, phone number, email, anything and everything that you may need in order to get in contact with me. I'm sorry it took so long to actually explain and present the monster and its details. Don't forget, if you are not a PenVenture subscriber, it's very easy to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click there, turn on the notification bell on, and you will be notified whenever we have new content. Speaking about content, if you want to continue watching my previous videos, I'm going to leave you this right here. You can click and enjoy. As always, I'm your host from PenVenture. I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care, stay safe, enjoy your monster. Bye-bye.